Live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Her side of the story.
It's not just incarceration, it's the grief issue.
In a rare public appearance, the wife of disgraced ex-mayor Kwame Kilpatrick shares what life is like for her family while her husband sits behind bars.
Celebrating success, Angels Night efforts in Detroit set a record, but now things are going to change moving forward.
But first, a deadly mystery unfolds in a remote area of Detroit after a woman's body is found. We'll start there today at 5, and right now it's what we don't know that makes this story so frightening for people living in Southwest Detroit.
It really does, but here's what we do know. That woman's body was discovered this morning in a remote area at John Kronk and Martin. Now that's near Michigan and Livernois. You're looking at video from Sky 4 over that area. Police are treating the death as a homicide. Our Jason Colthorpe has been talking with his sources. He joins us now live. Jason, what can you tell us?
Boy, unfortunately, not a heck of a lot more right now, Carmen. Early in this investigation, and unfortunately, police have so many more questions than they do answers. Not even officially able to call this a homicide yet, but certainly the circumstances surrounding it are very suspicious. It was around 10 a.m. when a man walking to work on a remote stretch of Kronk Street saw a body just a few feet into the high reeds, which run along the train tracks. It was a black female. Police believe in her late 20s or early 30s.
She is fully clothed, missing shoes. Right now we don't see any obvious signs of trauma, but it's still an ongoing investigation.
Being it is a desolate area and it appears the body was dumped has police investigating this as a homicide. But nothing is certain, and forensics may be what solves this mystery.
Sometimes on these you might think it's an overdose and perhaps a body getting dumped. But on you never necessarily know until medical examiner, everybody gets a really good look at the entire body to see if there's any trauma.
A neighbor who didn't want to go on camera told us she saw a white Chevy Astro van in the very spot where the body was found at 5 a.m. this morning. Police say the body does not appear to have been there long and is not a young girl like originally thought.
Not a teenager, which is a good thing, but anytime someone loses their life isn't a good thing.
Police, of course, looking for any help regarding if anyone saw anything on that side of town, including something that resembles that white Chevy Astro van. Also, autopsy scheduled for tomorrow. Hopefully then we'll be able to get some answers who this woman was and why she died. Reporting live tonight, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Jason, let's get back to that neighbor who saw the van again. Did she see anyone in it?
She did, Carmen. She saw at least 2 people. Couldn't say if they were men or women, but she's a woman who says her family goes back to the 1800s in that area of town. Yeah. So she says she often goes through there and will check out. She kind of was actually visibly upset. Almost stopped.
All right. As you can imagine, our Jason Colthorpe is experiencing some technical difficulties, but we will get back to him in just a moment. Now, on to other news. Brand new information we're learning in a tragedy on Detroit's west side.
That's where a man was found dead in his home, and investigators believe it was carbon monoxide poisoning that killed him. Priya Mann has the latest here, including what one neighbor heroically did before he realized it was too late.
The 70-year-old man called police this morning complaining he was having difficulty breathing. And when paramedics arrived, the victim would not answer the door. Now, EMTs can't force their way in, so a neighbor helped push open the door and the victim was found inside. Now, sources say the man had been using the stove to heat his apartment and had been running it all night. When paramedics were finally able to get into the home, they called the fire department to help ventilate the apartment. Neighbors say they found a pot of coffee on the stove burning at an extremely high temperature. The victim likely died from carbon monoxide poisoning, but the family also says he suffered a medical issue a few months earlier. The 70-year-old man lives at an apartment complex near Greenfield and Warren in southwest Detroit. Following the death of his wife a few months ago, the family says he sank into a deep depression. The victim called 911 around 9 this morning and was rushed to Oakwood, where he was pronounced dead. And the American Red Cross says every year about 200 people die from carbon monoxide poisoning related to fuel burning appliances. So I know the weather is beautiful today, but when things do start to cool down, this tragedy is a reminder to please not heat your home using your stove. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, some very good advice. Well, funeral arrangements are set for Officer Myron Jarrett.
The 8-year veteran of the Detroit Police Force was in the midst of a late-night traffic investigation Friday when he was struck and killed on the west side of town. Visitation is scheduled from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday at the Edward Swanson & Son Funeral Home, and then the funeral is scheduled for noon on Monday, November 7th at 2nd Ebenezer Church in Detroit. Detroit police are investigating a pair of pharmacy break-ins early today on the city's east side.
Well, police say it was just before 4 a.m. when someone broke into Buckley Pharmacy. That's on 8 Mile and Hayes. It's not known yet what was taken, but about an hour earlier, burglars broke in and took medicines from a pharmacy on Kelly Road at Meringue. Police are working to learn if the two break-ins might be related.
70 degrees on the first day of November. Unless you've got that new down coat you've been wanting to get out, it's hard to complain.
I'm thinking palm trees. What about you? Let's go over to Ben now. How long is this going to last, Ben?
Well, this is pretty much the end of that. But hey, we still got the rest of tonight to get through. And some of these numbers just fantastic out here. 78 right now in Petersburg. Metro Airport's officially 77. We're at 78 in Dearborn. And even some of the areas that are north of 8 Mile, not too much cooler. A lot of mid-70s here across the northern end of our metro zone and in our north zone. 74 in Sandusky and Marlette. Now, this will be the warmest that we've got in the forecast going forward, but we're going to hang on to mild temperatures tonight. In fact, dinner on the deck, anybody? 73 here at 6 p.m. We'll still have a lot of sunshine. Winds will be calming down as we get into the evening hours, but still mild. 66 at 10 o'clock. We'll look at a lot of rain and some thunderstorms in the forecast before we cool down. That's coming up in a few minutes. Devin?
Well, the numbers are in, and last night was another chapter in this year's Angels Night success story. Firefighters think only 22 fires were intentionally set overnight. That is the lowest it has ever been. As Nick Monticelli reports from Public Safety Headquarters, a part of that success could be thanks to a change in focus.
Good evening. Yes, the numbers are down, and there's a victory flag being flown, so to speak, but there's something else to talk about. It's not just these Angels Night patrols. Yes, they did a fantastic job. However, there's a change in how they're doing things, and that is likely the reason things are going so well.
We just had a lot of fun over the last 3 nights.
Over the past few years, the Angels Night story in Detroit has been changing, and this year, it's an even better story.
Last night, to me, was the beginning of the new trend that we're going to concentrate on the children.
For the past 3 nights, Angels Night volunteers have been patrolling, making sure fires were not set. There were 59 fires, 22 of them are suspicious, and there were only 9 citations. Many of that, though, is thanks to the more than 6,000 Angels Night volunteers and a change of course. Patrols were cut by 50% last night, and those volunteers spent their time with the city's children.
It's been years since we've seen so many children out trick-or-treating, and it's been long and far in between since we gave the sidewalks back to the children.
And there were so many children, firefighters and police officers were constantly running back to the store to buy more candy.
They did this out of their own pocket. It was awesome. The kids were coming up in loads and vans and cars walking up.
All across the city, there were parents and grandparents with children and smiles. And that's what Halloween should be about.
All right, I've already started receiving the questions. Is this the end of Angels Night? Will they not need this massive force of volunteers? The answer is yes, they still need them, but it's just how they're going to use them. They'll still have patrols in the years to come, but they will focus more and more on programming, because if you give the kids something to do, something to smile, something to have a good time, you won't have the other ones out there burning things down. At DPD headquarters, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Yeah, in fact, city leaders said they knew they were taking a risk by cutting patrols last night, and they would go back to all patrols all the time if more fires were set, but it appears to be a risk that paid off. Nice. Well, the one and only Carmen Harlan was honored by the Detroit City Council for her 38 years of service to the city. Mary Sheffield praising Carmen for staying in Detroit her entire career and being dedicated and compassionate about the city she loves. She said Carmen entered the field of broadcast journalism when it was dominated by white men, but that didn't stop her.
I have admired her since I was a little girl. She paved her way, a Detroit girl, went right into that field, paved her way, and really showed the way for other people to follow behind her.
Sheffield also named some of your specific career achievements, like covering the legendary Detroit arrival of Nelson Mandela in 1990, and then presented her with this
proclamation signed by all of the members of council, and well attended this morning. And you know, I said, normally I'm never at a loss for words, and ask Andy. He will tell you. At home, I never stop talking. But today, I mean, how do you say, what else can you say but thank you? And, you know, I'm just so touched and so honored. And so then I put Andy on the spot. Okay, now it's your turn.
To him. Oh, what a great
It is,
honor.
but anyway,
so well
thank you
deserved.
so very much. And, oh boy. I'll have something to put up on my wall and
I think
for the next 38
It's all just starting, of course,
Are you
as we head into next week. Oh, of course.
My
We got
gosh.
a lot of things coming up the next couple of days. Also coming up here before this newscast is out, a crash causes chaos for the morning commute on I-96.
Oh, yeah. New tonight, the one thing investigators were looking for that caused them to close the road for such a long time. We'll explain coming up.
Also, an explosion rocks a small Alabama community. New tonight, why this fire right here might have a big effect on drivers all over the country. Rod?
It's been 3 years since we really talked about Kwame Kilpatrick and his wife.
Having to pick up the pieces and deal with them and try to be positive.
And now she's decided to go public for the first time. What did she have to say? We'll let you know ahead.
Tonight, new at 6.
A Harper Woods woman valets her car at the DMC hospital in Detroit, and it disappears for 6 days. But when she gets it back, it's not in the same condition.
The car cut off 4 times on me.
Hear more from Chantel Davis, but also what the DMC and the valet company have to say about this. That story on Local 4.
Also, black gold. This church in Southfield appears to be sitting on a lot of oil. New at 6, what that could mean for the church and the surrounding community.
Well, it's been a long time since we have seen or heard from Carlita Kilpatrick. The last images of her were in Detroit, coming from a courtroom as her husband was mired in the corruption scandal that eventually sent him to prison. But just a few days ago, the wife of the disgraced ex-mayor made a rare public appearance and opened up about what life is like while her husband sits behind bars. Let's get to Rod Maloney. He joins us now. And Rod, this happened down in Texas.
Well, you know, she was at the National Prison Summit on Mass Incarceration, Carmen, and what she was doing was trying to help support other families in the same situation that she is, trying to deal with somebody in prison and what it's like to have to live that way. And she opened up like we've not seen in many years, and in fact, she has turned away from Kwame and toward her kids.
To really watch over our children, you know, to be a steward over them and to love them through this.
Former Detroit First Lady Carlita Kilpatrick now works in a car dealership, while her husband still must serve 25 years of a 28-year federal prison sentence. Her life in Dallas is obviously entirely different than the one she lived before.
The shame and the humiliation and the depression that kind of went along with your life just totally changing in a way that, you know, you weren't responsible for.
She said constant juggling came with a disastrous financial fall, yet she has 2 sons in college and 1 in high school. Still, it's a daily fight to teach humility.
You are not what you wear. You are not, you know, a status symbol. You are who you are on the inside.
She's a working single mom, and she has embraced that for the sake of her boys.
The video comes courtesy of the Detroit Free Press and columnist Rochelle Riley, who went to Texas to hear firsthand Carlita's words. She tells Local 4 Carlita's decided to turn away from Kwame in this respect.
I think that any mom who has decided my being a mother and my making sure my boys don't become their father is, you know, I think that's noteworthy.
Now, Rochelle tells me that she tried to get Carlita to talk about whether she remains married to Kwame Kilpatrick, and that was a question she would not answer. She also said that Carlita refused to discuss Kwame at all, especially that drive that is out there to try and get him pardoned. Back to you.
Well, you know, Detroit is his home. Did she say whether she has plans regarding returning to Detroit?
Well, actually, you know, Carmen, she's originally from Washington, D.C., so Detroit was not her original home. But, yeah, she did spend a long time here, as a lot of people who were friends with her. But, no, she made it abundantly clear that Detroit is not in her future at all in any fashion.
All right, our Rod Maloney reporting for us live.
And he's out there with no jacket because no one needed one today. It's just gorgeous for the first day of November, isn't
Perfect.
it?
You said 70, didn't you? Did we hit it?
Yeah, and we even overachieved with this extra sunshine, but I don't think anybody's complaining about that. Look at it out there. It's a little breezy. It's about the only negative thing you can say about this afternoon and tonight, but temperatures, look at that, 77 degrees. And Metro right now, we've got a southwest wind at 20. It's been gusting up to 26, so it is noticeable out there. But so far, our high temperature today has been 78 degrees just on the nose of this little wedge of warmth. Not quite as warm as what they got down here in St. Louis. It is still 85. They saw the 80s across the Ohio Valley. So even though right now, as of the hourly temperatures, we've only gotten to 78, looks like we're going to fall short of that record of 81 by 3 degrees. Not only is it the record for today, but today is also the latest that we have actually hit an 80-degree temperature in our entire recorded history here in Detroit. So it does have some other significance too on November 1st, back 66 years ago today. So we'll have to wait officially until 8 o'clock to see if we got into the 80s there between the hours, but I don't think that happened. Nevertheless, we'll tell you coming up at 11. Otherwise, cloud-wise, not much out there. We're seeing some high clouds, and we'll continue to watch those increase mainly during the day tomorrow. Cold front's on its way, but even though it's not going to completely come through, that boundary is going to be the focus point for some showers and storms as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So about this time tomorrow, we're going to be getting wet, especially in our west zone and north zone, and then gradually that'll spread across the area through tomorrow night. Should be out here by about 9 o'clock Thursday morning. And then we are dry from there on forward as temperatures return to average for this time in November. But tonight, unseasonably mild, 58. That's close to what our average high temperature is for the day. We're going to get 68 on the high side tomorrow, but look at the difference in temperatures as we go through your 4-zone forecast. Obviously, the warmer numbers are going to be right here around Detroit at 68, 69 degrees. Still some 70s here in our south zone tomorrow afternoon. Lambertville at 71, Blissfield, one of the warmer spots at 73. In our west zone, you're going to see that front come through first. It will be anywhere from 64 in Flint to 70 in Manchester. But our coldest temperatures will be in our north zone. So even though we've got 73 down there in the south zone, you're only going to get to 57, 56 up in parts of Sanilac County tomorrow afternoon with a smattering of 60s here across the southern end of the zone. High temperatures in the 50s from Thursday and beyond. And once we get this rain out of here, it's a whole lot of sunshine as we get through the weekend and into early next week. Temperatures pretty close to average for this time of year. And morning lows, well, they're going to get chilly again. Friday, we'll be back to the mid-30s to start. So keep those close.
You bet, Mark. I mentioned it's just starting. We've got a couple of people who we are going to be hearing from over the next couple of days with some thoughts on the upcoming retirement of my partner, Carmen. Listen.
Carmen, what a phenomenal run. I'm excited for you as you move on to this next chapter in your life, and I'm hoping that it's more than what you want it to be. And I just want to say for all the girls in the trade, thanks for being a trailblazer and leading the way.
Boy, I'd recognize that voice anywhere. We both started in radio about the same time here in Detroit. Mildred, thank you so very, very much. How many more of these?
Just one or two. I don't know. Let's see what Doc McGeorge has up his sleeve today, Frank.
Well, it's a trend going in the wrong direction. Ahead in Good Health, what every expectant parent needs to hear about a troubling new report and how to keep tragedy from happening to your family.
All right, Frank, but first, 2 buses collide at high speeds, 6 people killed. It could have been so much worse. We'll tell you why next.
Essential oils are a popular natural remedy to help with pain, sleep, even allergies. But tomorrow night, starting at 5, how they can be dangerous in the wrong doses, especially for children. Back in a moment. Catastrophic damage in Baltimore after a school bus crosses into oncoming traffic and slams into a commuter bus. The deadly accident happened around 7 a.m. today. 6 people were killed and at least 10 were hurt. One of the victims is in critical condition. Fortunately, no children were on board the bus at the time of the crash. The community, though, as you can imagine, is still reeling from this violent accident.
It literally looks like a bomb exploded in the bus, and it's catastrophic damage.
These people were on their way to work. You know, there's someone's mother, someone's brother, someone, you know, it's just really horrific.
Right now, investigators, including agents from the National Transportation Safety Board, are working to learn how the deadly accident happened. Well, one worker was killed, 5 others injured after a fire broke out along a section of a crucial pipeline.
Deadly blast happened Monday in Alabama after an excavator workers were using hit this line, and the fire has now caused the pipeline to shut down completely. It provides gas to 50 million people. Turns out it's the same pipeline that closed back in September due to a leak. That led to rising gas prices. The fear now is that this fire will also bring gas prices higher, just as they'd gotten so comfortably low. It'll be at least 8 months before Bill Cosby is brought to trial on sex assault charges.
In the meantime, teams of lawyers are battling over evidence issues. The initial focus of today's hearing was a deposition in 2005, a 2005 civil suit. Cosby agreed to be deposed in exchange for the promise by the then district attorney to not prosecute him on criminal charges. Cosby's lawyers argue that promise should still be honored. The new district attorney wants to introduce the damaging deposition as evidence against him at trial.
New at 5:30.
Take a look here. This is some of the most iconic historic land in the entire city of Detroit. It was a generation ago that this happened. The old Hudson site came down in a cloud of dust. Now they're getting ready to rebuild, and we're getting an idea what's going in. We'll have the story ahead.
The race for the White House, a week to go. It's about turnout. It's about swing states. The story's coming up.
A crash on 96 near Livernois claimed the life of one woman. Now, state police are looking for the driver responsible. We speak with a cab driver who witnessed the crash.
Get every second. Live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
A deadly crash brings the morning rush to a standstill, and police say the driver who caused it took off. At Thompson News at 5:30, that deadly chain reaction crash killed one person.
It happened right around 3:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-96 at Livernois.
Let's get to Priya Mann live. And Priya, are there any leads on the driver that took off?
Well, Kimberly, Devon, state police are actively searching for that driver. The crash happened right behind me there at eastbound 96 and Livernois. We spoke to a cab driver who witnessed the crash and called it terrifying.
I saw a car flip.
A 3-car crash early Tuesday morning killed an unidentified woman. The crash happened around 3:30 a.m. in the eastbound lanes of I-96 near Livernois.
I called 911. That was at like 3:23.
State police say the chain reaction crash started with a car that was rear-ended. The third driver tried avoiding that crash and went up the embankment and flipped over. State police say the woman was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
It was horrible. You know, just to imagine who could have been in the car or, you know, what the circumstances may have been.
The driver who was rear-ended suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The driver who police believe started the chain reaction crash fled the scene. Eastbound I-96 at Livernois was shut down for about 5 hours during the rush hour commute. The highway reopened around 8 Tuesday morning. As for the female victim, state police have not yet positively identified the woman, so of course next of kin have not been notified. We'll continue to stay on top of this story. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya, thank you.
Detroit police are investigating after a driver tried to run over officers during a traffic stop, forcing police to open fire.
It happened early this morning on Cambridge and Steele Street, right by Outer Drive on the city's west side. As officers were approaching the car, the driver put the car in reverse, trying to run them over. The officer fired shots at the driver but missed. The driver jumped out of the car and ran. They were arrested a short time later.
Now decision 2016, it all comes down to this, the vote a week away. And it's close. Hillary Clinton has fallen behind in one major national poll, but Donald Trump needs a string of wins in the crucial swing states. Today, he's in 2 of them and trying to stay on message. Steve Handelsman is in Washington with more. Steve?
Devin, thanks. Donald Trump figures more voters finding out now that their health care premiums are going up can help him now when he needs it the most and in states that he needs to win. Today in Pennsylvania, that Donald Trump calculates he has to win, he focused not on email, but on Obamacare in a state that's hard hit.
Premiums are soaring, doctors are quitting, companies are fleeing.
Trump promised a special session of Congress to repeal Obamacare that he said Hillary Clinton would expand.
It's one of the single most important reasons why we must win on November 8th. We must win.
If Trump can take Pennsylvania next Tuesday, he would still need, check out the site, 270 to win. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, and Arizona, or Nevada and Utah, or Wisconsin, to get more than 270 electoral votes.
Thank you.
Trump headed to Wisconsin, encouraged by taking the lead in today's ABC Washington Post poll. Trump at 46%, Clinton at 45% nationally. The poll found strong enthusiasm for Clinton declining since the FBI revived her email investigation. She headed to the biggest battleground, Florida, where Bill Clinton was mocking Trump.
And I will repeal the health care law, and I will replace it with something else that will be better bigly.
Turnout is the question now. Will the bad news on Obamacare premiums and the renewed email probe prompt enough Clinton voters to stay home that Donald Trump can win all those swing states? Here in Washington, both sides are pressuring the FBI to make public as much as possible about the email investigation this week. Be fair to Clinton, demanded a senior Republican senator who wants Trump to win. From Capitol Hill, Steve Handelsman, Local 4.
All right, Steve, and we have just learned Ivanka Trump will be back in our neck of the woods tomorrow. She'll be in Troy to appear at a community forum. That'll be at the Troy Marriott on Big Beaver at 7 p.m., and that is open to the public. All right, across Michigan this Tuesday, following a number of stories from up north in Leland and Bay City.
But we want to start in Burton. That's where a 12-year-old girl was killed and 6 others injured in a rollover crash. It happened just after 7 p.m. Monday on I-475 between Maple and Hemphill Roads. Burton police said an SUV was heading north when it lost control. It then rolled over several times before stopping. 3 children were thrown from the vehicle, including a 9-month-old. All are in critical condition. The 18-year-old driver is in stable condition. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
In Bay County, a man is now heading back to prison after he pleaded guilty to exposing himself to children. 41-year-old Joel Zanow was charged with 1 count of indecent exposure after police said he flashed 2 girls inside a Walmart in Bangor Township. Zanow served time in prison for possessing child porn and was sentenced to 25 months to 4 years in prison then. And at trial, prosecutors called him a repeat offender whose inappropriate activities with children were, in their terms, escalating. Hundreds of birds found dead along Lake Michigan.
And experts say their deaths are sudden with no end in sight. A large number of dead birds were first found last week along a 2-mile stretch on Christmas Cove Beach in Northport. Then over the weekend, more were found along a 10-mile stretch on Good Harbor Bay Beach in Leland. More than 250 birds have died so far. Meanwhile, a monitoring group says it appears they're dying from a botulism outbreak. Anyone who finds a dead bird is asked to stay away from it. Well, both companies are known for their modern ways of reaching passengers, but a new study finds some Uber and Lyft drivers carry age-old ideals, namely racial discrimination. The study analyzed 1,500 rides in Seattle and Boston, and it found Uber drivers in Boston canceled rides for men with black-sounding names more than twice as often as other men. And in Seattle, black passengers using Uber and Lyft faced longer wait times than white passengers to get paired with drivers.
Good Health tonight, a new report out concerning news from the March of Dimes. After nearly a decade of decline, the preterm birth rate has actually gone up.
Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a look at the national problem and the trend here in Michigan, Doc.
Well, let's start here in Michigan, actually. Reflecting the national trend, we saw a very small increase in premature births compared to last year, from 9.8% to 9.9%, earning an overall C grade in Michigan. Now, it's disappointing news for everyone, really, concerned about child welfare.
For the first time in 8 years, the March of Dimes reports the premature birth rate has risen. The increase last year was slight, from 9.57 to 9.63%. Still, that represents 2,000 more babies born too soon, before 37 weeks gestation and before their lungs and brains are fully developed. The rise earned the U.S. a C grade in this year's March of Dimes premature birth report card. States in purple and blue earned A's and B's respectively. States in yellow received a C. Orange and red, all in the southeast, represent D's and F's.
It's hard work getting the preterm birth rate down. We've always known that, and this year shows us with the uptick in preterm birth rate So we've got to work harder.
Part of that work will require renewed focus on African American and other women in racial and ethnic minority groups. That's where the rise in preterm births was most pronounced. Now, the March of Dimes also says elective C-sections should not occur before 39 weeks gestation. That's the point at which the brain is most likely to be fully developed. Now, regarding the issue of prematurity rates between races, Michigan had a slight improvement compared to other states. We now rank number 13. We were number 12 last year. Nonetheless, the preterm birth rate among black women in Michigan is 55% higher than among other women in Michigan.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess the good news is here, though, is our ability to keep preemies healthy keeps getting better and better all the time, right?
Well, that is true. Our ability to keep young babies alive longer is definitely getting better. But, you know, the main thing is they do suffer long-term developmental delays. And so the big issue is we do need to prevent it.
Sure.
But you're absolutely right. Our ability to keep them alive is definitely better.
Okay. Thanks, Doc.
A small child delivers pretty good burn to President Obama during Halloween at the White House.
Ahead at 5:30, what the kid was dressed as that had everyone cracking up.
Also, talk about foreshadowing, what this aspiring rapper made a song about that is now quickly turning into a harsh reality. Rod.
Talk to longtime Detroiters and they will tell you about what used to stand right here, the old Hudson's department store. And so from the vacant land here, they get ready to build something new, and we're getting a window into what's likely to happen.
It's something that I think the world's going to be pointing to, and I think it's something that the world is going to come see and use and enjoy.
We'll have that for you ahead.
Back to the Channel 4's coverage of the North American International Auto Show from Cobo Hall. And joining us now is Detroit Mayor Coleman Young. And I have to ask you, what do you think of Cobo Hall? What's your...
It's overwhelming. It really is. It's a beautiful place. And to see such a successful completion of a renovation and then inundated with wall-to-wall crowds makes it perfect.
Another great hair moment from our queen as we continue to celebrate Carmen. That's right. And how about Coleman Young there?
And Rich Make sitting there, and Keith Crane as well. So, and she was just getting started in 1989.
That's right. How about that? Just gets better with time.
The hits keep coming. We'll be right back with more in just a minute.
From Camp.
New at 6.
It started with the referee's bad decision that has led to this afternoon's do-over. In just a few minutes, one of these two teams will win a spot in the state tournament Final Four. I'll have that for you coming up at 6.
All right, Steve. Plus, medication so important for children with asthma, but there's much more families could be doing to prevent asthma attacks, and it starts inside the home. That's at 6 as well.
Well, it was October 28th, 1998. The biggest building demolition in Detroit history happened in a matter of seconds. The Hudson building along Woodward came crashing to the ground.
18 years later, all that sits is really still an empty slab of concrete waiting for something new. Well, now we are learning that something new could be on its way soon, and it's big. It certainly would be. Rod Maloney live tonight. Rod, we have heard over the years quite a few plans for that site.
Yes, and in fact, it's one of those things that everybody's kind of been waiting on edge to hear about because it's that important. Now, you and I were there together that day, Devin. I was 1,500 feet up in Sky 4 watching the Hudson's building implode underneath me. It's something I'll never forget. And everybody here wants to know what's to come. And we have a bit of a glimpse here. Old-time Detroiters speak with reverence of the old Hudson's department store. It was downtown Detroit. So when they demolished it in 1998 in that incredible asbestos-filled dust cloud, collectively the city waited to see what would one day replace it. And here it sat. Cement encased, support girders jutting from the parking lot's roof for nearly 20 years. Dan Gilbert's had the site for years now, and he spent a couple of $1 billion remaking the city. Real estate developer Jeff Hillman says that Gilbert's vision started out small.
He recognized what he referred to as a building sale. And in typical Dan Gilbert fashion, he said, sure, we can do this, but let's do it right. And let's do it big, and let's be dynamic.
And in early 2015, Dan Gilbert's Bedrock development showed us this picture of a swooping glass structure, and we're assured today that this is really an outdated look for the site. They've gone back to the drawing board, and there are reports now that the new building could rise 60 stories into the air, and that would completely remake the entire city skyline. And Hillman says you can expect the unexpected.
The respect for the history of the site will certainly be conveyed in the size and scope in whatever's there in its future. Yeah. And it's something that I think the world's going to be pointing to, and I think it's something that the world is going to come see and use and enjoy.
Now, they had hoped last year to have these plans out, but it wasn't until April of this year that Dan Gilbert was able to get the rights to the parking garage here. You get the impression that perhaps they might have delayed things, but I've also been told that they're really just sitting back trying to make sure they figure out exactly what it is that they're going to put in here. And so it could be, one of those things that they're really sitting on, because really, is there any rush to start building a 60-story office tower? Probably not. Back to you.
Well, the last I heard, Rod, I believe there was we were about 2 months away from a deadline for submissions on plans. Is that still where we are?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, let's face it. This is one of those things where they don't have to do this. It's something that they want to do, and they want to make sure they get it right. So I'm hearing that a couple of months, we probably will see what it is that they want to do. But, downtown, things are flexible. Things can change, as we've seen just with this project. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
It has changed dramatically over these last couple of years, that's for sure. All right, Rod. Pretty wild. Yep. 60 stories. A father traveling with his 3-year-old daughter faced a challenge. How could his little girl go trick-or-treating while she was on a cross-country flight?
Well, this dad knew exactly what to do. He secretly passed out candy to other passengers along with this note telling them he would ask his daughter to walk down the plane's aisle. One passenger posted a picture on Twitter. The girl was wearing a donut costume on the flight from Boston to San Francisco. The images of the father's note and the little girl have gone viral.
It's kind of in there. It's tough to see.
Tough to see there,
but pretty brilliant dad move.